Yes, viewers, we're back with you. We are going into the second part of this program. The second part of the program will be less formal. We would like to basically, have a little discussion here in order for people who did not know St. Martin the way we knew it, to get an idea of the transition that St. Martin people went through, so that they could understand, the emotions of St. Martin people. Because for a number of reasons, and we can understand that to a certain extent, a lot of people have no idea that St. Martin had a history, right? And that St. Martin wasn't the way they know it always, and that we as St. Martin people, we have not only given up a lot, we have not only embraced people to come here, we have not only been, let's say, hospitable, but we have been hospitable to the point where that is being returned to us with hostility and with exclusion. And that explains why a lot of us are so upset, so emotional about what's going on, where people are taking St. Martin for granted. And mind you, a lot of people, for whatever reason, feel that our rhetoric, is kind of a hot. They feel that we talk radical. But we have to, we have to warn government that while we still are willing to talk, a lot of young people out there ain't talking. Yeah. They're not talking. They're not going to talk because there's a lot of anger out there among our young St. Martin people. Not only St. Martin here on the island, but St. Martin people who are abroad as well. So in order to prevent the situation from really escalating to the point of social, collision and confrontations, we think, we have to be honest. We have to be politically incorrect. We have to be honest in terms of discussing what St. Martin people are really going through in St. Martin. Because without St. Martin people feeling comfortable in their country, nobody should feel that, the situation can continue. So it's in the interest of everybody to allow for St. Martin people, to benefit from the principle that charity should start at home for them as well. So X-Ray, I turn the word over to you again, and maybe you can share some of the experiences that you have with people that came here to St. Martin and have no clue of, what, we have lost in this country.
Yes. I meet a lot of people, and they will meet me on the street and say, I listen to your program, you don't like foreigners. I was saying, well, I can't know how you look at it. Like I asked a lady, where you from? She said, I'm from Dominica. She said, so I asked her, so I said, can I go to Dominica and do what the Dominicans doing here?
What she said?
She said, no. I said, okay then. So which means you don't like foreigners?
Okay.
When you're in Dominica. You don't like them when you're in St. Martin. And I explained, I said, listen, I know you got 2 children. Your children born in St. Martin. Soon they will become
like us,
because they're going to ask for the legal status. They will get St. Martin passport. Would you like for 15 years from now, a new person just come in and push them out of St. Martin?
Okay.
I am setting this pace. What we do in our program is setting a stage for your children. And you may notice that yet. I am making sure that your children is comfortable when they start to grow up. They have a place to call home. Because of the born St. Martin, I don't know if they go to Dominica would accept them.
I don't think so.
But they know the born St. Martin. They have St. Martin passport.
And they have Dutch passport. Dutch, French, we have St. Martin passport.
Well, yes.
It's very important to me. That's
true. Yes. You have a Dutch or French. Yeah. Well, in her case, you have a French passport.
Okay.
And he or she, the child, can call St. Martin their home. And that's how we protect them. Yeah. And she understands, she said, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I understand, no. It's true. So, it all depends on how you look at how people perceive it. They just start to be defensive without understanding. You're going to defensive
Could you blame the people basically for not understanding the situation on St. Martin, for not understanding the feelings of Samaritan? Could you blame them or blame them alone?
I blame them a little bit because they know back home
No,
they
I
don't
said
have
alone.
it.
I said alone.
Right?
Alone.
No, I blame our leaders.
Okay.
And I blame us also,
Okay,
myself
exactly,
also,
exactly.
for not
Exactly.
getting up and doing this earlier.
Exactly.
And I blame older siblings that
Exactly.
who didn't stand up and
They have created a monster.
yes.
Yeah.
But you see, St. Martin people is a passive type of relaxed and friendly island.
Yeah.
And we think friendly means the same doing
We
nothing.
think that everybody's like that.
Yes, exactly. But and we start to realize when we go in other people's countries
Exactly.
how respectful.
And we think it's normal to fall in line when we go to somebody else's
Yes,
country.
yes. And we don't notice that when they come here they don't fall in line.
How is it about our politicians now? Because politicians are supposed to be basically, in a way, your best and your brightest.
Yeah.
Because that's why you elect them basically so that they could, represent you and protect you as a people.
Yes.
And politicians travel all around the world, most of them, so they know, that when you have a country, that your people should come first.
Yeah.
How was that on Samaritan?
But it's sad. It's sad in one sense because they, according to me personally, politicians are doing it and they don't really understand, unconsciously killing their own self and they don't know it.
Exactly. Explain what you mean.
Sometimes I think it comes from education. Like Bob Marley said, they educate them to become a fool.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't realize that they are educated to work against their people and themselves.
Exactly.
And they're saying it's the law.
Exactly.
But it was always also the law to be a slave.
Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's right to be a slave.
Exactly.
What they're doing is mental slavery now.
Exactly.
And they fall in the trap and they believe they're doing the right thing. And this is what makes me feel so sad for the politician. You gotta think they're doing the right thing.
I hope. I'm not sure if they think they're doing the right thing. I'm not. I think they're doing the political correct thing. That's for sure. The easy thing.
Political
to get
correct,
elected.
yes, but they feel like, boy, that's how it is.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They don't want to put up a fight for their people. And what is interesting?
But it's like what Justin said just now. They feel like that's the people, and because they have a passport that says the French, and they can go and vote, they feel like. But one of the politicians say, but we have also madness on our list.
That brings me to the point of being even more convinced again. Some people see it as an offense, but it's not an offense, basically, because politicians, guess what? They work for us.
Yeah.
Some people feel we got to tiptoe.
Not even what they're supposed to serve us.
Yes, we got to tiptoe and look up at politics as if they're gods and kings and queens. No, you work for us.
Well, I'd like to add something to what you're saying at the beginning, because I think that's where our work comes in. Because have the politicians been very versed on what's taking place, there won't be no need for us.
Yeah.
But I think it's up to us now to reframe the state of mind, because they're the politicians. You talk about the people that are confused. The politicians are more confused than the normal citizen. Why I say that? Because has the politician been not confused, they were able to know exactly who's a St. Martin, because they were able to identify what we are saying.
Exactly.
The point of born here does not exist. The notion of being a French make you a St. Martin, it would have been irrelevant, because the politicians have been not wise enough to know that this is not the case.
Exactly.
If they didn't know the case the way it is, there will be laws put in place by the politician. First start with Treaty of Concordia, first part with admission. Don't tell me that France is over immigration. We don't want to hear that nonsense.
Exactly.
So I want to know that you are in charge. Immigration is my problem, because St. Martin is my home. I am not going to let France take control of my home. I tell people all the time, the French law start outside my bone, of my property. When you come inside my bone, that is my law. And make sure my property is going to kill you.
This leads me to repeat what I said before again. We are at a crossroads in terms of our very existence as a people. Because we ain't got another country to go to, right? And clearly, the politicians, as you said, they don't know, or if they know, they take an easy way out. The result is the same. You know, it's our demise. And that's why I'm saying that not only politicians, you know, are part of the problem, politicians are the problem right now.
Yes.
I'm serious.
Right now
they are the problem right now. You know, and I think it's time that St. Martin needs to be recalibrated. You know, we have to rewind. We have to rewind the computer and go back to the beginning. You know, that's what we need on St. Martin if we want St. Martin to survive.
Politicians should look at the growth of the country. Where's my people with that growth?
Exactly.
If I don't have a string of people growing with it and putting them key places and being successful in all different levels, then you're not doing nothing for the country.
You know what is very interesting too? We talk about, you know, the nationality, the French nationality, the French government, this and that. You know, as a country that is still basically colonized, you know, we should realize that if you look at the history of St. Martin, it goes for the Dutch side and the French side. There were times that there was no Dutch government visible on the island, period, because there was nothing to be had. We as St. Martin people and our ancestors survived here without the colonial powers. They only come here now recently. And guess what? They can leave again. You see? So,
but they will leave after the mess up.
Sooner or later.
No, after the mess up.
And what then? What are we going to say? We're going to France? I mean, so the point is, politicians, right now we need a new breed of politicians. We need politicians who, listen, a law is not like the sun coming up and setting every day. A law is man-made. There was a time the sun laws didn't exist. Right? What parliament is about, what governing is about adjusting laws constantly. So having a law that destroys your people, that is reason to get rid of it soon as possible. You understand? On top of that, we have a very strange situation here in St. Martin where we see foreigners, especially the Haitian people. They are good at it. They break every law here in this country. Every law they break constantly. Guess what? They get rewarded for it. They get rewarded for it. They get the same rights like you and me. And by virtue of them just breathing, because of the cough and whatever, there's a menace to the St. Martin people. These are things that nobody wants to talk about, but unless we address these problems, you know, we cannot develop, we cannot bring in another mega project under these circumstances.
Sure. When we talk about social problem, right, we have to look very deep into teenage pregnancy. And it's not an accident. It's not something that the poor children put themselves in. It comes most of the time from the parents. Now let's explain this very clear. Why is the parents? That in many situations I've heard that mothers telling the daughter it is time for them to take up the mantle and start making sure to bring in money for the house. Why I say that? Because people have to know the system. There's a lot of people listening to us right now do not live in St. Martin. And will be confused. They won't know exactly what we're talking about. But have you been living on St. Martin, or know the situation on St. Martin, or in the French system, you'll be very much more understandable. The fact of me is that after having the cash money, after making a child,
the social welfare money.
Getting the social welfare money, at the beginning, when the baby are very small, the money is very big. And as the child grow older, it starts diminishing. So what happens is, when you make the first child and the money starts to get diminishing, you make a second child. So the money get bigger. If you make a twin, it's more money one time again. So what happened? After making 4 or 5 kids now, and those kids now start getting 12, 13 years, you're in trouble with the last one. So now you have to put your daughter now to continue the willing.
To go to business.
Yeah, so this is what, and we have to stop blaming the kids. And I hear a lot of people talking about teenage pregnancy, and when I say a lot of people, I talk about those in government and want to control teenage pregnancy. I think they have to revisit the parent home.
I will go further than that because, you know, we are the voice of the St. Martin people. So the things that we say here, you know,
it's feedback from the people.
It's a feedback. And what is interesting in terms of what we hear on St. Martin all the time, there are certain let's say issues, certain elements, you know, institutions that are connected and that cause a lot of problems on St. Martin. What keeps popping up on St. Martin is a very interesting name, the name Fisher. You can't go nowhere on St. Martin without the name Fisher popping up all the time. When you say fisher, apparently you say what? You say cuff. When you say cuff, right? You say Sinsimara. Sinsimara, you say cuff. When you say cuff, you say Sinsimara, you say guess what? Social housing, ghettos, immigrants. When you say immigrants, what you say? Overpopulation. Overpopulation, what you say? Lack of control. As a consequence of that, you see an impact in terms of social behavior, criminality, you know. So we can conclude by saying
which problem?
That on St. Martin, we have a major problem with this network, and unless that is addressed, I don't think we are going anywhere.
I'm glad you mentioned that whole last word with us, because I've listened to many programs, and they always come back with the same question: when are we going to get out of the poverty level on St. Martin? Because we keep bringing in people of poverty-stricken countries where it's not added value.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to build something and you're putting all negative force on it, then how could you get out of the poverty? And that's what I have to say.
Yeah, well, that's one of the.
Could I add something here? Because you see, we talking both here. Yeah. I think the time is close, and a lot of people might not like to hear it, that we have to revisit the whole social welfare system on the front side, because that is the honey for all the flies that come in St. Martin.
I'm trying to get the lady that's in charge of social right now to come in next year.
Okay, good. Because that social welfare system isn't doing St. Martin people any good. It is hurting St. Martin, it's destroying St. Martin because it's bringing a bunch of asocial, lazy people to this country, creating a social welfare state. And the time might come that we as a movement might ask France not only to investigate, possible abuse, but even to stop it. Because at a certain moment, it isn't serving the purpose it's intended for. You see?
Can I add a little bit to what you're saying here? I think not only stopping it, but I think repatriating those people back to their country and sending that money to their country direct.
And I would like
for them. I think that would be.
I would like to add to that at a certain moment, an investigation should be part of that decision, whether to stop it completely or stop it or whatever, and if that investigation should show that certain people abuse the system, I think not only should their papers and whatever be revoked, but it should be made to repay every cent to the state so that St. Martin and St. Martin people can benefit from that.
What way I say that they should be sent back and to let the money go to their country exactly. The fact will mean that every time this money comes to St. Martin is who are accountable. They receive X amount of €1,000 every year on an annual basis. Have this money go back to their country, St. Martin is no longer responsible. So if the state want to finance the moon, let them do it, as long as it's not St. Martin problem. That's all I say.
Okay, well, we're coming to the end of this section again of the program. I would like for you to, give your final, assessment and conclusion in terms of your program and what you expect. And,
well, just to add to the social situation, St. Martin is not used to the social thing. I was born and raised, I never get a penny from the social yet.
We don't know what that is.
My children never get a penny.
Exactly. So it doesn't benefit us?
So it doesn't benefit me.
No, exactly.
So if they stop it yesterday, I don't miss it.
Exactly.
And most St. Martin people could tell you that.
Exactly.
So I thought they should stop it.
Okay.
The program definitely, talking point. We're going to add some elements of that name.
I just want to tell you about it because I want to I didn't hear anything about the grill. You're the host. Yeah. I didn't hear anything about the grill.
What was the name again we're going to put on?
I think you should explain first why you want to come up with a certain name, based on the experiences.
Yeah, we notice right now that people has been recognized our program as the program where people get grilled. So we have to add that grill element to the program right now because in the politics season time, we are the grill of politicians. So it will be the talking
political grill.
Political grill.
Talking point. Welcome to the political grill.
Yes. As of this week, we're gonna have the seat will be in red. They're gonna have a red seat there, so you know you're in a hot seat. You know you're in a grill there.
They can't take another seat?
No, they have to sit down in that hot seat.
I think you should explain to viewers also that you're putting out a bid to those welders to make your seat that fit the grill description.
Yes, tomorrow in the program we definitely gonna send out a bid to see who's gonna come up with the best grill chair.
The best design.
Best design.
For the political season.
Yes, because we will grill them. And just to let the folks know that Billy D will be grilled also.
Okay.
He will be grilled.
He's going on the grill.
He's going on the grill.
Date again that week.
Yeah, Billy D will be on the 8th. The 8th of which is next week. Next week the 8th, no? Yes. No, Billy D come on Thursday.
So he gonna get grilled in his own radio station.
Yes, his own building that he's paying every month for.
Well, I mean, when he's in that grill, he's not Billy D as a politician, right?
Exactly, and it is that exactly what I'm going to say.
Exactly.
When any one of our guests walk in that door between 9 and 10:30, we don't see them. Nothing
no
else.
Friends, no family.
As a politician.
Yeah.
That's all they are, politician to us. And if they come there, count and vote, we're gonna let them know you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
You're part of the problem. So that's how our program is run.
Okay, I want to thank you very much for accepting our invitation to make use of our website.
Glad
to inform the people of the very, very important work that you are doing. And I want to thank you very much. And I'm so glad that you're back to xvid because St. Martin missed out on you for a long time.
Yes.
We just would like to say.
I also feel good to be back.
Okay.
I would like to thank our viewers and for all the feedback they give us on the street, because at times people must realize that it is a very hard job that we are doing. It is not one to take very lightly, because you are putting yourself, imagine the many people on St. Martin that refuse to speak out, refuse to stand up and take a chat, refuse at some time when some of the politicians said, it's very difficult to get St. Martin people on the list with them. Yeah. I could adhere to that, because I could understand that, because I've been through that already, seeing the position where other people stand. Very coward. Sometimes we must say the fact, buy out, sell out, completely traitors to the country by selling the vote one way where they cannot represent their own country. And I said, no matter that we speak out for you, I think that does not relieve you of your own personal responsibility to look out for, not only for yourself, but you have a moral responsibility towards your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren and those that you never seen the unborn St. Martin. So I think it is time that you really do yourself and your grandchildren a favor and the country and stand up and make yourself be counted.
For the record, I have to tell you, Dr. Leopold and Jesse, the people meet me and tell me that you all have to expect. You put your neck out, you're doing something what a lot of people wouldn't do. They love what you're doing, they're happy that you all are doing it, even though some are going to be bad-talking it. Some, those who bad-talking probably not from here, or they're the cowards one. So you all doing a good job.
You got a job to do, right?
Yes, you got a job to do.
Okay. Viewers, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.